Friday morning, 7:53 a.m. So getting a late start this morning. Had trouble waking up because I stayed up a little bit later last night than what I usually do. Stayed up till about 11 o'clock. I know most people would hear that and say, 11 o'clock, that's early. And well, that's actually late for me to go to bed most of the time. But I stayed up late because I was tinkering around on some 3D printing, some absolutely, useless things, I guess you would say. And it's kind of funny. Like, I was just doing it just because I could do it. that's the honest answer. It's like, why would you 3D print that, or why would you make that? And just because I can. That's, my little nerdy mind at times when it comes to making things and doing things. I'm just like, I want to do something. I want to do something different. I want to make something, or whatever, and I just do it. So basically what I printed last night was absolutely nothing special. It was just a box, kind of, a retro shape that I downloaded. And actually it's meant to be a retro radio, and like a vintage 70s style radio is what it's meant to be. And I just printed the box off, and I'm basically going to stick my Bluetooth speaker inside of the box. It's like, do I really need to do that? No, I don't. Like, I've got a Bluetooth speaker, works perfectly fine. Why would I print off this to put it inside? I don't know, because I can. Like I said, it's actually meant to be, built as a radio. Like, you could buy the radio parts and put it together as a radio and everything, but that's not what I'm doing with it. Like I said, I am just using what I have, which is a Bluetooth speaker that connects to my phone and my computer. And I'm just going to shove it inside and let it play, I guess. And, of course, it's not the best way for me, because when I want to actually use the Bluetooth speaker, I'll have to like take it out, turn it on, like, press the power button, put it back inside. Because my actual Bluetooth speaker doesn't, the way the power button is, it's on top, but there's no way to access it, and not even a good way to there's not even a good way to maybe put a button that could be that could push down onto it or anything like that. So, it'll just be like, when I want to use it, I'll pick up the 3D printed part. I will pull the Bluetooth speaker out, turn it on, put it back inside, and put it back and play. So, like I said, completely useless. Just made it because I can. So that's kind of what I had going on last night. And in the process of doing that, it just kept me up late, because many times when I start to do a 3D print, I usually stay up later because I want to kind of, walk in every now and again, and check it, just take a look, see what's going on, see if it's, printing well, things like that. So anyway, but so I'm looking forward to getting it all put together. Like, I still have a few more parts to print that I haven't finished up printing yet, to finish it off and put it together. The legs, the front cover. There's a back cover that goes on it, but I'm not going to put the back cover because, as I said, I need to get in and out easily to access the speaker. So no reason to put the back cover on it. But yep, so that's the plan. So today on Friday, my normal work schedule was canceled. The school that I go to on Fridays, I work at multiple schools, and the one that I go to on Fridays is on. They're on a field trip, and sometimes I go on the field trips. It just depends on like what it is, where it is, things like that. Um, So, and it just depends. Like, sometimes in the plans, because they have to make plans for all of this and budget for all of this and stuff. And sometimes in the budget, they think about it and they're like, oh, let's ask him and put him in the budget and stuff for it. And then sometimes they don't. Either way, it doesn't bother me. so, so they're going on a field trip today, which means that the school itself is going to be closed. Like there's nobody there. Because this is a tiny school and basically everybody, all like 16 students and like 10 teachers will go, which is kind of funny. It's like there's practically more teachers than students at the school. But I love that school. Those kids, they are really like my own children. Like some of them I have taught for 6 years. So, so it's like I've really watched some of them grow up. Like, one of the boys, he was tiny when I started teaching him. Now he's taller than I am, and everything. So I've really watched a lot of them grow, it's cool. It's cool. Like, a lot of people don't get the opportunity to do that because, a lot of people only teach them in one, like one school or something like that. And because I've taught across multiple schools in the area, I started teaching them when they were in elementary school. And then I also taught the middle school there. So then I'm teaching them in middle school where, the Korean teachers are, either elementary school or middle school. They don't cross the lines of the two most of the time. So anyway, but yeah, so they're going on a field trip, which means that I am going to my normal school, the school that I work at Monday through Thursday. And, I'll just be doing desk work and things like that, which is good because I've got some printing that I need to do some prep for next week. Need to make some files and things, you kind of always have to update a lot of stuff, especially because we got new books. We got new books this year and got new books last year, and when you're getting a lot of new books, you kind of have to update a lot of the files. Even though like one of the books I got was last year, still like I didn't have all of the files made that I wanted, or there were things that I wanted to add in and stuff like that. So, over time you build that up, which makes the worst part about changing schools, which we have to do sometimes, going to another school that has a different book after you've already built up, lessons from, the book at the first school or whatever. So, that kind of, it keeps you busy sometimes because you end up, making the same stuff. And here's the thing, like a lot of the times the books themselves cover the same types of topics, but they often use different, different grammar points or whatever in each lesson, even though they cover the same things. And they use different vocabulary sometimes, things like all of that. And as a result, like, you can't just say like, oh, well, this book taught, ordering food at a restaurant, and this book teaches ordering food at a restaurant. So I'm just going to use the same lesson and or I'm just going to use the same file, because the actual speaking parts, the actual, conversation parts sometimes the conversations are 100% opposite. So you have to modify a lot of stuff. And I'm one of those people that usually what I do is I will actually make it again, so. But anyway, I have run long. I've run over my 10 minutes. So I am going to stop it right there and catch you next time. Peace.